are watching Rogers Sportsnet, home of the MasterCard Memorial Cup.
And then there were the top two teams in the Ontario Hockey League during the regular season. No one had more points than Peter DeBoer's Kitchener Rangers. No one has more wins than Ottawa's Brian Kilrea. Corey won the scoring title for the 67's and then locked up the league's MVP trophy. Derek Roy leads by example. He leads the Rangers in both playoff assists and points. But getting to the final wasn't easy. Kitchener pushed to the limit before beating Plymouth in 7. Ottawa also went the distance with Toronto before being sent into 7th heaven. The OHL title is on the line, and with it a berth in the Memorial Cup. The 67's drew first blood. Game 2 next.
The Canadian Hockey League on Sportsnet.
Welcome inside the Ottawa Civic Centre as we get set for Game 2 of the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series between the Kitchener Rangers and the Ottawa 67's. And this is what it's all about. The Robertson Cup that goes to the winner of the Ontario Hockey League. Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Quinn. We're glad you're with us. Should be a heck of a game. Game 1 of this series was played on Friday night in Kitchener, and it was also one heck of a hockey game. Time running out. Kitchener down by 1, and it's Gregory Campbell just over the line. We're tied at 2 and going to overtime. In overtime, Scott Shepard throws it in front. Adam Smith beats Scott Dickey. Ottawa wins Game 1 in overtime, 3-2 the final score. Let's bring in John Druce right now. John, and you know, they couldn't get to this point. Adam Smith got that game-winning goal if it wasn't for the brilliance of their rookie goaltender.
Well, Lucas Mensador did a tremendous job in Game 1. You can always have a goaltender step up in the playoffs, and he did the job for them with 61 shots against, 59 saves. Mensador said that he's used to facing a lot of shots. In junior, he played on a team that wasn't so good. He faced about 40 shots every single night, so he felt very comfortable.
As for the Kitchener Rangers, they've got Peter Kanko back in the lineup for them. He served that 1-game suspension for a slew foot in the Plymouth series, but he has not been the story in terms of goal scoring. And John, you know all about that in the playoffs. You had 14 goals in 15 games for Washington in 1990. You know what Gregory Campbell's going through.
Gregory Campbell loves to get himself in front of the net, position himself to score his goals. And when I played in Washington, everything seemed to slow down, and every time the puck was coming at you, you felt like you had all kinds of time and that you could put the puck wherever you wanted. And I'm sure Gregory Campbell, that's exactly what he's facing right now when he's in the game every night. 14 goals. He only had 23 during the regular season.
One injury update to tell you about is Rodney Bauman not in the lineup. We'll get to that. Some of the players who we've met and talked about, but how about the rest of the players here in tonight's game? And that, for the introductions, we'll head off and come back a little bit later on. We'll come back with more right after this.
Numéro 33, Carlo D'Arienzo. Number 40, numéro 40, Scott Dickey. Number 3, numéro 3, Matt Manius. Number 4, numéro 4, Gregory Campbell. Number 6, numéro 6, Thomas Harrison. Number 8, numéro 8, Steve Eminger. Number 9, numéro 9, Peter Kanko. Number 10, numéro 10, Jesse Boucher. Number 11, numéro 11, Matt Grenier. Number 14, numéro 14, Derek Roy. Number 16, numéro 16, André Benoit. Number 17, numéro 17, David Clarkson. Number 18, numéro 18, Mike Richards. Number 19, numéro 19, Evan McGrath. Number 21, numéro 21, George Halkitis. Number 24, numéro 24, Rafael Martinowski. Number 26, numéro 26, TJ Eason. Number 27, numéro 27, Adam Keefe. Number 38, numéro 38, Nathan Onabagon. Number 39, numéro 39, Chad McCaffrey. Head coach and general manager, Peter DeBoer. And assistant coaches, Steve Spock and Jim Brown. Not dressed for tonight's game, number 2, numéro 2, Matt McCann. Number 7, numéro 7, Nick Duff. Number 12, numéro 12, Paul McFarland. And number 25, numéro 25, Marcus Smith. And now, please welcome your Ottawa 67's. Number 1, numéro 1, Chris Hardle. Number 51, numéro 51, Lucas Mensator. Number 2, numéro 2, Carol Sloboda. Number 3, numéro 3, Carter Trevisani. Number 4, numéro 4, Will Colbert. Number 5, numéro 5, Russ Moyer. Number 6, numéro 6, Pierre Mitsu. Number 8, numéro 8, Adam Smith. Number 9, numéro 9, Brendan Bell. Number 10, numéro 10, Matthew Albiani. Number 11, numéro 11, Lou Dickinson. Number 12, numéro 12, Brody Todd. Number 16, numéro 16, Scott Shepard. Number 17, numéro 17, Brian Bickle. Number 18, numéro 18, Sean Scully. Number 19, numéro 19, Peter Simicalis. Number 24, numéro 24, Jeremy Atkinson. Number 27, numéro 27, Julian Talbot. Number 83, numéro 83, Matt Boyd. Number 84, numéro 84, Corey Locke. And number 51, numéro 51, Lucas Mensator. Head coach and general manager, Brian Kilray. And assistant coaches, Bert O'Brien and Vince Millett. Not dressed for tonight's game, number 21, numéro 21, Rodney Bauman. Number 22, numéro 22, Kyle Wharton. And number 25, numéro 25, Mark Mancari. Tonight's officials, les officiels de ce soir, the referee, l'arbitre, Pat Smola, and the linesmen, les juges de ligne, Sean Reed and Chris Hodgins.
Well, those are the players. We'll be back with a puck drop here on Rogers Sportsnet, OHL Playoff Hockey, right after this.
The Ontario Hockey League on Sportsnet. Brought to you by the new Don Cherry Tallboy Can. Now free inside cases of Molson Canadian playoff packs and perfect for watching the game. by Tim Hortons Iced Cappuccino. Tim Hortons Iced Cap, totally creamy, totally cool. And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
And welcome back to the Ottawa Civic Centre. We'll just moments away from the start of tonight's game. Let's meet the starting goalies, and we'll start with the Kitchener Rangers, and it is Scott Dickey with a record of 12-5. He has the best goals against average in the playoffs so far at 2.06. At the other end, Lucas Mensator. What a game he had in the opener of this series with 59 saves. He leads the playoffs with 13 victories and a 2.5 goals against average. The referees for tonight's game, the referee is Pat Smola. He'll be helped on the lines by Sean Reed and Chris Hodgins. 3-2 overtime victory for the Ottawa 67's in the opener of this series on Friday in Kitchener. And now, Game 2 here at the Civic Centre. 8-2 are the Ottawa 67's in the playoffs at home. The Kitchener Rangers are sparkling 6-1 on the road in the postseason, and we're underway. Kitchener Rangers in their road blues, the Ottawa 67's in their home whites with the red trim. And the big line will get the start for the Ottawa 67's. Keep your eye on Corey Locke and Matt Boy. They are playing with number 12, Brody Todd, a late addition to the lineup. And that is because Rodney Bauman was hurt. He limped off in the warm-up. We'll get the lines for you in just a second. And here they come. Boy moving in, trying to get around the defense, takes the shot, and there's the first save for Scott Dickey as he kicked that one aside. Thomas Harrison with some room up the middle. Moving in, Eminger now. Eminger, he'll just ease it into the corner, take a hit. In behind the net, there's Gregory Campbell, leads this team with 14 goals so far in the postseason. Back the other way. Shot in by Smith, the hero of game one with that overtime goal. He's parked himself out in front. Lou Dickinson, the veteran, in the corner, trying to center it out in front. Can't do it. Eminger, first round draft pick of the Washington Capitals. Up the middle for Kenko's back in the lineup. There's a quick long shot. Stop, rebound in front. Kenko sends it towards the net, then goes after the rebound, but Lucas Mensator will cover it up. Take a look now at the lineups, and we will start with Peter DeBoer's Kitchener Rangers.
Well, on defense, Steve Eminger is the main guy who's going to be playing against Corey Locke's line all night long. Up front, they have the addition, like you had mentioned, Peter Kanko is back in the lineup after missing one game. Peter DeBoer thinks he's a terrific addition to this lineup. He's the type of guy that could have won that game in the game number one.
Slewfoot in that series against the Plymouth Whalers put him on the sideline for one game. He's out there now with Mike Richards. Richards had 87 points during the regular season, number 18 for the Rangers. Sent around the boards, cleared but not out. Out in front it comes. As we take a look now at Ottawa's lineup, we'll start with their blue liners.
So on defense for Ottawa, Brendan Bell is a key player for this defensive pairing between him and Sloboda. They're 1 and 2 in the scoring race among defensemen in the playoffs. Key guys for them. Up front, Brody Todd has been inserted into the lineup. Rodney Bauman left after warm-up with an injury.
Well, a big chance for Brody Todd here in game 2. He comes back to the point. There's a long shot. Another chance in front. Cleared but not out. Into the quarter. Peter Simikalis will go after it. Colbert watching him. Still in the corner now. Moving it out in front. Back up top. There's a long shot. And again, Mentador with the save. As Benoit let it go. Rangers with the pressure. Andre Benoit. Another wrist shot. And that was almost tipped. Out in front it comes. And the 67's back the other way. Atchison moving in. Centers it out in front. Quick shot by Simikalis. And a big save there by Scott Dickey. Simikalis in the corner. Sends it around the boards. Blair Atchison waiting for it. Atchison puts it off the side of the net. And Derek Roy will pick it up there for the Rangers. Roy with 26 points in the postseason. Can't get it out though. Eason off the boards and out. And down the ice looking for Evan McGrath. Too far for him. The Rangers on a line change, but that was a two-line pass.
Very important for Ottawa to get going in this first period. They allowed 25 shots against in game 1. This is a good opportunity. Drive and wide, have a guy going to the net. And a good shot on net by Simicallis, getting shots on Dickey early, trying to get in front of him, driving hard to the net. They have to continue to do this for the whole game. They had a slow start in game one.
Peter Simicallis, second among rookies in the playoffs. He's got 10 points so far. Ottawa trying to keep it in. Throws it towards the side of the net, and that goes deflecting off Mensador into the netting.
You see Brian Kilray, he knows his team has a lot of depth, and it showed in the first game. The fourth line contributed, had a few points for them. He's willing to roll 4 lines and get everybody out there. That's why his team has been so fresh throughout the playoffs.
He has won 3 OHL championships, 77, 84, and 2001. Had 2 Memorial Cups in that resume as well, 1984, and then here in Ottawa in 1999. 16:51. Back to the point. There's a shot that's blocked before it can get through. Julian Talbot with the block. And he gets stopped. Kelly up to Brian Bickle. Bickle, the rookie, crosses the blue line. He will take a bump from Adam Keefe, and that's what Adam Keefe does best, is he'll get in there and agitate. Kept in by the 67's. In behind the net. Bickle going after it. Ties it up in the corner. Matt Grenier lost his helmet, so he's going to have to go to the bench as Bickle has the puck, tries to wrap around, sends it out in front. Puck is loose. Scully with a chance. Well, Dickey covers up. Well, that's one of the problems with the rule. You lose your helmet, you have got to get off the ice, and the Rangers found themselves undermanned there.
Exactly. That's a perfect advantage. Ottawa took advantage of it. They won the battle down low behind the goal line, and this is that fourth line that we were talking about. Bickle gets the puck and he'll walk out and drive hard to the front of the net and try to get a good jamming in front. Got other players there. Ottawa has had a good start to this game by out-muscling Kitchener down low on their end and taking advantage of opportunities.
From the face-off, Brody Trott trying to get a shot away. He's prevented, gets after the puck though. It comes loose and Derek Roy will pick it up in behind his own net. He'll give it to Eminger. Eminger right up the middle. Here's Gregory Campbell moving in with Clarkson. Long shot. Mensador kicks that into the corner. Dave Clarkson goes after it. He takes a bump but carries on as Brendan Bell let him have it. Here's Roy now moving in. Roy trying to get a shot away. And a good defensive play there by Karol Sloboda. Here is Todd. Off the stick of Locke. Bouncing puck picked up by Eminger. Eminger went 12th overall in 2002. Played 17 games for the Washington Capitals this season. Centering pass out in front. Here's Eminger. Trying to throw it towards the net. Brendan Bell picks that off, and he'll flip it out. That was knocked down by a high stick by Matt Foy.
Now, speaking with Peter DeBoer, he felt in game one that his team did a tremendous job. They played their exact game that they wanted to play. They had 25 shots in the first period. He said they played probably their best game that they have played in the playoffs. He's not going to change things. He's going to keep the guys continue to do the same thing. But very important for his guys when they do get in that slot area that they have to bear down and really bury that puck behind Mensador.
Oh, when you get over 60 shots, you think you've got to be doing something right. Lucas Mensador was outstanding. Those 59 saves. He was the first star. There's O'Navigon with a shot, gets deflected into the corner. 6-2, the shots on goal favor the Rangers right now, and they have had the edge in play. 15-13 to go here in the first period. Eminger keeps it in. Quick shot to Mensador, has to be sharp again. O'Navigon in front looking for the rebound. Cleared out to center, Eminger waiting for it. He'll use the boards. Get it up for Richards, quickly now Kenko. Banned on that shot. As Moyer was down on one knee, comes back to O'Navigon, there's a quick shot. And again, Mensador steers that into the corner, but the Rangers keep the pressure on. Kenko's pass is picked off. Back the other way, Smith, long shot, and Dickey gloves that one. And then he's going to hang on to it with Lou Dickinson right there.
Both of these teams match up very well. Very competitive on the ice. Every team has had a tremendous regular season. Here's a look at what they did during the regular season. Kitchener was a tremendous team defensively. They only allowed 188 goals against. Now for Ottawa, their big asset for them, 318 goals for. They were both first in their conference. This is a terrific matchup to have in the finals in the Ontario Hockey League.
Kitchener Rangers number 3 in the Canadian Hockey League. The Ottawa 67's came in ranked number 5. Here's Roy. Moving in. Roy in the corner. Centers it out in front. Axon picks it off. There's another shot. And TJ Easton got that puck on net, and Mensador made the save. 7-3, the shots on goal. John talked about 25 shots for the Rangers in the first period of game 1 on Friday. Rangers get it out. There's Trevisani waiting for it. Trevisani still looking for his first goal of the postseason. Here's Derek Roy. And the late offside.
The Ontario Hockey League on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Grad, the science of skating.
13:57 to go here in the first period. No score between the 67's and the Rangers. The Rangers out shooting the 67's to this point 7-3. Grenier moving in, gets knocked down, gets it to Boucher, trying to get a shot away. Stopped by Moyer, centers it out in front. And the 67's pick up the puck, and it's fourth line action now for them. Here's Talbot moving in to Bickle. Ryan Bickle centering pass. He was looking for Sean Scully. Scully sends it in around behind the net, nobody there. And the 67's see the Rangers coming away. Here's Boucher, long shot. Mentador steers that aside. Keeps going for the net. He and Colbert collided. Bickle will leave it there for Will Colbert. Colbert, third-round draft pick of the Ottawa 67's. 6'3", 205 pounds. Here's Julian Talbot now, moving in. There's a quick shot, then Dickey make the save as Moyer let it go. Bickle trying to keep it in. And action in front, and we have got a whistle. And we've got penalties coming up, and Grenier battling in front of the net with Sean Scully.
It looks like he's going to take both guys to the box. We're in front of the net. Moyer gets a nice shot, but right in front, this is where Grenier and Scully are battling away. You'll see Grenier give him a little extra. Now he's sending Scully to the penalty box, but I don't think that's a good call. I think that Scully was out front. Grenier started punching him in the head a little bit, stirring it up. But already in this game, we've seen that Derek Roy got a high stick. That wasn't called. Pat Smola's letting the guys play a little bit. He wants to keep it as even as he can.
Well, both players off. 2 minutes for roughing with 12:58 to go here in the first period. Now we'll see some 4-on-4 hockey now. As Scully and Grenier will sit. George Halkitis on defense. He's playing with number 8, Steve Eminger. Here's Halkitis, crosses the blue line. Halkitis stops, throws it around behind the net. Going after it is Derek Roy. He's up front with Gregory Campbell. Sloboda gives him a bump. Blocked. Moving out now. He'll give it to Brendan Bell. Bell crosses the blue line, drops it back. One-time shot attempt by Locke. And he missed it. Back the other way. Here comes Derek Roy. One-on-one against Sloboda. Roy moving to the center. Takes the shot. Mentador the save. Locke flips it out. And Eminger at center. So we've seen the advantage here of the open ice. There's a couple of good scoring chances. And the top guns out there for both teams. Locke and Foy up front. Bell and Sloboda. And Bell, an offensive defenseman. He's number 1. Foy lets the shot go. Rebound. Side of the net. Locke couldn't get a stick on it. Eminger tripped up. He'll get up. Cover up on the puck. Locke gives him a shove. Halkitis comes up with it. And he'll give it to Gregory Campbell. Quickly up for Derek Roy. Roy gets to the blue line. Moving in. Roy trying to get around Bell. Gets a bump. Gregory Campbell has it. Now takes a quick shot. And Mentador steered that aside as Lou Dickinson picks it up for the 67's. Here's Dickinson with some speed. Dickinson stopped at the blue line, and it's offside.
4-on-4 hockey, a lot of wide open hockey. There's some tremendous players on the ice with Locke and Foy. On the other side, Derek Roy, Steve Eminger, Brendan Bell on the ice. Here's a play back to Locke. He misses the puck, and this creates an opportunity for Derek Roy going down the other way, and he makes a beautiful move to get by and gets a shot on net. Bell has to be a little more careful. Corey Locke had his stick cocked for the shot, but he misses that puck, and all of a sudden you got a guy going the other way just like that.
Derek Roy finished 3rd in the OHL MVP voting. Corey Locke won the trophy. Chad LaRose of the Plymouth Whalers finished 2nd. 20 seconds to go in 4-on-4 hockey. Moyer. He was looking for Scott Shepard. That didn't work. Scott Shepard, the guy we thought would maybe have moved up to that top line with Foy and Locke. He has been there before, but it is Brody Todd in the place of Rodney Bauman. Penalties are over. Teams at even strength. 10 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the first period. Eminger picks up the puck in his own zone. He's got some room up the middle. Here comes Eminger. Crosses the blue line. Outside, quick shot. And a good save there as Michael Richards let it go. 9-5 now. The shots on goal in favor of the Rangers. Navigon sees that puck get by him. Dickinson, nice pass to Trevisani. Trevisani moving in, left it for Atkinson. And he'll clear it in. Hamilton around the boards, picked up by TJ Eason. Goes up the middle, that pass is picked off. And brought in offside, and the body's flying a little bit here.
Well, we mentioned how much skill is playing in this game. Corey Locke did a tremendous job during the regular season. He just kept his pace up all season long, 151 points. And then during the playoffs, he's continued to be an outstanding player. And he's been rewarded by the MVP award for the Ontario Hockey League, and he deserves it. He was just a tremendous player all season long.
151 points during the regular season. The last OHL player to win the CHL scoring title was Mark Savard back in 1995, and he did it with the Oshawa Generals. Moving in, Todd trying to get a shot away, can't do it. Back the other way. Here comes Evan McGrath. McGrath got a goal in game 1 and opened the scoring. And his team's 3-2 loss. Harrison trying to keep it in, can't do it. Gets it again, sends it in around behind the net. Mitsu. Albiani taking his time, trying to get it out. Now Mitsu will backhand it out to center. 9:41 to go here in the first period. Here's Harrison. And pass up the middle, looking for McGrath. Back the other way. Moving in. Albiani with a quick shot, and Dickey has to make the save, and he'll hang on. We'll be back with more. You're watching OHL Playoff Hockey here on Sportsnet. And don't forget that coming up after the game, Sportsnet News with Peter Labardius and R.J. Broadhead. And both goaltenders have been sharp so far in this game.
Albiani gets a nice shot on Scott Dickey. Right now the shots are 9-6. It's a lot different period than the first period in Kitchener the other night.
9:28 to go here in the first period. Back to the point. Boyer will flip it in behind the net. Cleared around the boards, and it comes out. And Carter Trevisani will go back and pick it up. Pass for Bickle. Too far for him. Andre Benoit will just flip it out to center. Trevisani trying to move in. Centered out in front. And Scully couldn't get the stick on it as Talbot goes in and picks it up. Here's Julian Talbot with a shot. Tipped by Bickle just wide. Bickle stays on it. Being watched by Matt Grenier. Here's Bickle. Lets the shot go. Dickey the save. Steered away. Just cleared it. And that means the 67's keep the pressure on as Talbot let the shot go. Bickle in there as well after the puck. And good play there by the fourth line of the Ottawa 67's.
Bickle's getting a lot of use out of that fourth line. In game 1, they were so dominant, and they helped his team win that game. He's using them again right off the bat here.
Top line out there now. Centered out in front, looking for Matt Boyd. Back the other way, here comes Derek Roy. Roy crosses the blue line. Roy, nice move, still has it, moving in. Roy trying to get a shot away. Tripped up at the last second, but you saw the ability of Derek Roy.
He's already jumped in twice and had 2 great shots. You mentioned Derek Roy getting that puck and driving hard to the net. He's come to play. He's a local boy from this area, so he has a lot of fans here. When they did the introductions, he got a big standing ovation, not a standing ovation, but a big applause from the fans.
Second round draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres in 2001. Went 32nd overall. Led his team during the regular season in assists. He had 50 of them. And he leads the team in that department this year. And the playoffs with 19. He has 26 points to go along with that. 7 minutes, 42 seconds to go here in the first period. An offside call at the Rangers line. And Derek Roy almost opened the scoring.
Well, not only is he from the area, but Derek Roy, it's also his birthday today, so you expect him to step up and have a good game on his birthday, but he's been doing this really well. Driving to the net and taking the lane, taking the ice that he's been given, and he drives hard and creates scoring chances for himself. He scored a terrific goal in the series against Plymouth, same way, drove hard to the net, same type of goal, but he scored on that one.
And 20 years old today. There's Mensator, has it go by him. Onabaga. Centers it out in front. Here's another shot. That one bounces wide. Now it's just chipped out by Adam Smith. 10-7, the shots on goal in favor of the Rangers. There's another one as Mensator handles it. He leaves the glass and gets it up for Todd. Quickly now to Lou Dickinson. Here's Dickinson moving in. Wrist shot. Dickey kicks that aside. Todd going after it. Halkitis trying to chop it away. Comes loose. Here's a chance out in front. Todd with a shot to Dickey with a huge save. Now Brody Todd trying to make an impact in the lineup in the absence of Rodney Bauman. Almost got one there. Back the other way. Here comes Peter Kanko. Kanko moving in. Kanko centering it out in front. Chopped at it. And the 67 get it out to center. Now Smith, his long shot. That one goes high and wide. Andre Benoit will pick it up on the far side. Avoids the check from Smith, who just got a piece of it. Halkitis. Long pass as the Rangers make changes. Flipped into the corner, and that's picked up by Will Colbert. Down the boards, far side, and chipped out down into the Rangers' end. At center, here's Colbert. Almost lost it. To McGrath moving in now. And Martinowski almost had a good chance. Puck comes all the way down into the Rangers' end, and that will be icing.
Ottawa doing a terrific job. Now, Brody Todd, you mentioned he was inserted into the lineup just after warm-up, or during warm-up. He was informed that he was going to be playing, and right here he takes total advantage of it. Goes in to make a hit, but finds himself with a loose puck. And Scott Dickey comes out, forces him to shoot it upstairs, and goes over the net. But Brody Todd taking advantage of every opportunity he has to be put in this game tonight.
Just 1 point in the postseason for Brody Todd. He almost added to that total there. But it stays scoreless with just over 6 minutes to go here. At the other end, Lucas Mensator coming up with a save as TJ Eason let it go.
Well, we already noticed that Kitchener is trying to get traffic in front of Mensator. Right there, Adam Keefe drove to the front of the net, trying to create a little bit of havoc, throw him off his game. Derek Roy drove to the net earlier, tried to score a goal. So the team is following the game plan. They're getting to the net and trying to throw that goaltender off into this game.
Grenier, Boucher, and Keefe out there now for the Rangers. There's Matt Grenier. In behind the net. Keefe is out in front, battling for position. And Mitsu throws Grenier to the ice. There's Brian Bickle back the other way for Ottawa. He'll fire it in the opposite corner. Scully going after it. Eason gets there first, chops at it. Rangers trying to get it out, and here's Grenier. He'll flip it out. Mitsu just throws it back in. There's Scully. He gets hit, and a body flying is it's Adam Keefe in behind the play, and he was knocked to the ice. Zanny with a long shot. That one missed the target. Scully will keep it in. Now Keefe comes up with it. Keefe. Roy at center. Boucher, long shot. Mensator the save. And Mensator will play it quickly off the glass. And up to Brian Bickle. Here's Bickle moving in. Bickle on the near side. Takes a hit from Eminger. Boucher. He's given a bump by Foy. Block keeps it in. His shot blocked by Roy. Back up top. There's a long shot. And Sloboda let it go, and Dickey had to be sharp. Now the 67's with the pressure, and the Rangers just relieve it, and they'll get the icing call. We'll be back with more right after this.
Corey Locke.
Toronto Blue Jays on the road, taking on the Texas Rangers. We'll have that game for you on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Here in Ottawa, 4:43 to go in the first period. Still no score between the 67's and the Rangers. Game 2 of the OHL Championship Series. Brendan Bell throws it towards the net, and Dickey gets the glove out, and he'll take no chances with Shepard right there, and he'll hang on.
Shepard went by trying to give Dickey a little shove with his stick to throw him off. After warm-up, Shepard coming off the ice, he was yapping at one of the Kitchener players, giving him a hard time about touching the puck in his own end. He was yelling at him, asking if he had pucks at the other, if they had their pucks at the other end of the ice. So he's stirring it up a little bit for tonight's game.
Well, he's back on the top line now with Locke and Matt Foy. Brendan Bell in behind the net, just Clarkson a bump. Send around the board. Halkitis will keep it in far side for the Rangers. Takes the shot. That one goes over top of the net. Shepard in behind the net, gave it away as Gregory Campbell sent it out in front. He was looking for Clarkson. Boy, flips it out, and he'll flip it into the timekeeper's bench.
On this top line with Derek Roy and Gregory Campbell, David Clarkson is getting an opportunity to play on this line. They used Evan McGrath. He's a 16-year-old this year playing with them, but he felt that Peter DeBoer felt that playing against this Ottawa team, they have bigger, stronger wingers. They wanted to put Clarkson up there. All three of these guys very responsible, can handle the workload against that top line of Locke, Foy, and Shepard.
Kevin McGrath, 8th among rookies in points in the postseason. Got his 5th goal of the playoffs in game 1. Just under 4 minutes to go as O'Navigon moves in. He is stopped, play carries on, and back the other way. Moving in, centered out in front. We're looking for Smith. It was Russ Moyer. Yeah, almost gave it away. Dickinson trying to keep it in, can't do it. Colbert. He'll throw it in. That's picked off by George Alkitis. He's paired with Steve Eminger on the blue line for the 67's. Now moving in. Here's Dickinson trying to get a shot away. Here's Colbert. Takes the shot through a crowd. Tipped just wide. As Todd got a stick on it. No, Brody Todd making an impact no matter what line he's playing on.
Gilroy uses all of his players, gets everybody into the game, and when they do get a chance to play, they're effective. They're not sitting on the bench. They're not cold right away. Brody Todd didn't expect to play tonight, but he's already in the lineup. Kilroy's getting him into the game.
Here's Simicallis moving in with Atkinson. Atkinson back to Simicallis. And he was hauled down by Andre Benoit. And we're going to have our first power play opportunity of this hockey game. And it'll go the way of the Ottawa 67's.
Now that's a good call by Pat Smola. There's a guy driving to the net. There's a centering pass coming across. But Andre Benoit gets his stick in the feet of Simicallis and pulls him down. That's a good, clean call the referee made. It wasn't a cheap one. It's the first penalty called of the game where there's going to be a power play opportunity, and Benoit's going to the box for tripping.
Ottawa had just 2 power play opportunities in game 1. They went 0 for 2. Their power play operating at 23%. Coming into this game tonight.
And at home, Ottawa is dominant. They're 29% at home. They're tremendous in this building. So when they get on the power play, they take advantage of it. Interesting to note, they only had 2 power plays in the last game. And that's not very many.
Bell will flip it in. He's paired with Sloboda on the blue line. Gregory Campbell up front with Derek Roy in a penalty-killing role, and he'll fire it down the ice.
And I say it's not very many, considering Kitchener had 6 power play opportunities in that game. So Ottawa needs to capitalize on their chances in this game.
Roy, Locke, and Shepard up front. Here is Corey Locke. Sloboda trying to get it back to Bell, and a good defensive play there by Derek Roy as he was harassing him and forcing him to move it outside the blue line. It's shot in by Sloboda. Dickey will play it himself. Around the boards it comes, looking for Roy. And again, the Rangers moving out here. Gregory Campbell shorthanded. He gets stopped. Scott Shepard back the other way. Gives it to Corey Locke. Locke winds, fires a shot, and Dickey got a piece of that one. Boy, on the far side, Campbell ends up on top of him. Locke ends up with a puck. Here's Locke centering pass. Looking for Bell. Throws it towards the net, and that was blocked before it could get through by Matt Grenier.
It's a good shot by Corey Locke, entering the zone, getting a shot on net. What it does, it forces the penalty killers to turn to look for the puck. Gives the Ottawa forwards that extra split second to find it because they're facing the puck because they're going in towards the offensive zone.
45 seconds to go, and the penalty to Andre Benoit. Simicallis and Grenier battle for the puck. Grenier wins it, but Trevisani's shot then hits Grenier and comes out. Here's Russ Moyer. He's on the blue line now. Trevisani. He'll flip it into the opposite corner. Albiani going after it. There's Simicallis in behind the net. 22 seconds left in the man advantage. 87.5, the penalty killing for the Kitchener Rangers. And doing a good job here as the 67's have not gotten a shot. And there's an offside at the Rangers blue line. So 1:07 to go here in the period. 12 seconds left in the man advantage. And don't forget that the big boys are still playing, and we've got Hockey Central coming your way every day until they present Lord Stanley's Mug. Comes your way at 6 o'clock Eastern. The panel will break down the night's action and set you up for the next set of games. And of course, everybody happy here in Ottawa with the play of the other hockey team in this town, the Senators, looking to eliminate the Philadelphia Flyers on Monday. 50 seconds to go in this period. Dave Clarkson out there with Gregory Campbell and Derek Roy. Roy in the corner. He gets tied up by Lou Dickinson. Puck's still loose. Clarkson fighting for it, and Smith in there after him. And Smith will chop it out to center. Steve Eminger will pick it up at his own blue line. Eminger pass for Roy, hopped over his stick. Here's Brendan Bell. Bell, draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs, 3rd round in 2001. Dave Clarkson with 17 seconds to go in the period. He'll shoot it in and then take a hit and end up in the Ottawa bench, and he's just getting out now. He was put there by Adam Smith. And as you might expect, he is not having an easy time getting out. Well, the linesman, Sean Reed and Chris Hodgins, having to go over and help him out of the bench, and the words continue to be exchanged as Dave Clarkson took a hit from Adam Smith, and Peter DeBoer not happy with the way that Clarkson was treated. Here's a look as Clarkson given a rough ride and then ends up right in the bench courtesy of Adam Smith. Now he's in the bench, that's one thing, but he just couldn't get out. Kept him there, and then Reed goes over the linesman. He's, okay guys, let him out. And finally, he gets out, but he paid the price. Now we'll keep an eye on that situation. And certainly Dave Clarkson's going to be aware. And the Ottawa 67's are going to get a penalty, as you might expect, for that. And this will be the power play, the first one for the Kitchener Rangers. Comes with just 15 seconds to go here in the first period. Brian Kilray trying to plead his case. To no avail. The Rangers were 1 for 6 in game 1. They have scored 16 power play goals in this postseason. In 98 chances, their 99th is coming up as Adam Smith is headed to the penalty box. So a chance here late in the period for the Rangers. Derek Roy against Locke Campbell. Gets it back to Peter Kanko. To George Alkitis. Kanko moving in now, 8 seconds to go in the period. Kanko sends it in around behind the net. Sloboda chops it around the boards. And that will do it for the period. So the Rangers will have a power play when we come back, and we'll have much more when we come back. You're watching OHL Championship Series hockey here on Rogers Sportsnet. Central Playoff Edition comes your way every day at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. The NHL playoffs, of course, here. The Ontario Hockey League champions will be heading off to the MasterCard Memorial Cup in Quebec City. We'll have coverage on Sportsnet starting Saturday, May the 17th. Right now, let's go downstairs and join John Druce. John.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. I'm here with Scott Shepard of the Ottawa 67's. Terrific first period for you guys. Much better than in game 1. You allowed 25 shots against. What did you guys change in this game here opposed to the first game?
Tonight we just wanted to come out, and the first period we just wanted to really concentrate on being sound defensively. And the first period here, I thought we did a good job at it, but not letting any goals. Because if we let guys like Roy and Richards get going, they're going to hurt us. So we just have to tighten up defensively and try and not give them as many chances.
And for you personally, you had a tremendous season playing with Corey Lack and Matt Foy, but during the playoffs you found yourself on different lines. Is there a big adjustment for that? How do you handle that situation?
You just got to go out every game and just try and work hard. I was fortunate I got to play with Dickinson there, and he brings a lot of speed, so he was able to push the D-man back a lot and give me a lot of shots, open shots, available shots, and I was taking them, and they were going in so far. So I'm back tonight with Locke and Foy, and hopefully we can get things going again like we did in the regular season.
Well, playing against Kitchener, obviously it's a heated battle at the end of the period. There's a lot of heat. This is your former team that you played for. Do you get up for these games any different way?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier getting up for these games knowing that I played there my first year. So I just treat it as any other game and go out and work hard, and hopefully we can get them after 60 minutes tonight.
All right, thanks a lot for that. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, thanks very much, gentlemen. After 20 minutes here in Ottawa, no score. You're watching OHL Championship Series hockey here on Sportsnet. Time now for the play of the period, and it's all about goaltending.
Derek Roy did a tremendous job. He had 3 shots in the period, drives hard to the net. Mensah stands up big and makes a big stop. The nice little fake move there by Derek Roy gives him the chance to get by. Drives hard to the net, just can't finish. Mensah is hot. After 1 period, no score here in Ottawa.
The Ontario Hockey League on Sportsnet. Brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Now there's a 67 and a Senator fan here at the Ottawa Civic Centre. We're through 20 minutes of hockey. No score between the 67's and the Rangers.
The first period, obviously no scoring. It was a very close first period. Take a look at the numbers so far in this game. Both teams came out. Face-offs, Kitchener won the face-offs. Hits were even, shots were very close. Now Kitchener is on a power play right now, so they have an opportunity to get a chance on the power plays.
Scott Dickey, as we mentioned, the best goals against in the postseason. Lucas Mensator played in the World Junior team with the Czech Republic in 2003 in Halifax. And a bench penalty for the Ottawa 67's as Adam Smith has sent Dave Clarkson into the bench, and Clarkson just couldn't get out, so the penalty still has 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining on it. The first power play opportunity for the Kitchener Rangers. As we talked about in the first period, they were 1 for 6 in game 1. 16% efficiency in this postseason. Here's Gregory Campbell in the corner. Derek Roy going after it. Sloboda watching him. Sloboda will send it by Evan McGrath. And that puck gets by Eminger. Boy, on the penalty killing rule. He almost got loose. He's out there with Corey Locke, Sloboda, and Bell on the blue line for the 67's. 1:07 to go in the man advantage. And Watt with a shot. Mensador, the save. Puck is loose. They score! A power play goal. The Kitchener Rangers opened the scoring as that puck took a funny hop. And Gregory Campbell looked like he was right there.
We have to keep things simple on the power play for Kitchener. The goaltender played so well in game 1. I think their focus in this game is be patient, get the puck, and get traffic in front of the net. They've got 3 guys there, and Derek Roy finds himself a rebound because they outnumbered the amount of guys in front of the net. Ottawa has 2 defensemen there, but they're outmanned. Derek Roy coming in late gets the first goal of the game.
And just their second shot on the power play, Derek Roy gets his 4th power play goal of the postseason. Here they come again. Mensador forced to make a big save. And a little pushing and shoving after the whistle, and Mensador has looked a little bit off balance in this. Well,
with everything that happened at the end of the period, there's a lot of tempers flaring right now. Mensador didn't look like he saw the puck until the last second. You can even see that his head was turning around and looking behind him a little bit. But this is a start that Kitchener needed for the second period. You get traffic in front of the net. And I know Peter DeBoer was heated coming off the ice. I was down at the Zamboni entrance when they left, and there was a lot of tempers flaring. Peter DeBoer had a few words to say to the other team because of what happened in their bench at the end of the period. So there's a lot of intensity out there, and it's almost I almost forgot what it was like to be in the middle of the battle, because when he came off, he was right beside me, and it felt pretty good, to be honest with you.
I think he feels pretty good about his team, and Derek Roy getting his 8th goal of the postseason. Roy now with 27 points. Long shot by Smith, and Scott Dickey makes the save, and he'll hang on to it. And again, Odie Todd right in his kitchen.
The one thing with Kitchener, they're a tough team to score goals against, only allowing 188 during the regular season. So this Ottawa team has to keep confident, stay focused, and continue to put pressure on. They had a good first period, getting shots on net, much better than in game 1. But with Scott Dickey, the way he's playing, they need to get some traffic and throw him off his game a little bit, the same way that Kitchener's doing down at the other end of the rink.
Number 1 team in the Ontario Hockey League, the Kitchener Rangers, the only team with 100 points. Here's a giveaway shot, and that one rang off the iron. Atkinson with a great chance to tie this hockey game, and he hit the crossbar. Yeah, the 67's keeping it in. Benoit sends it around the boards. Here's Derek Roy. He'll get to the blue line. Chip it in. McGrath in behind the net. Atkinson chops at it, and he'll get it out. Martinowski. They'll leave it there for Benoit. Evan McGrath at center. That's as far as he'll get. Martinowski throwing his weight around as he went into Simicallis.
Ottawa not giving a lot of room in the neutral zone. Will Colbert stepping up and intercepting a pass, making it difficult for Kitchener to come through that neutral zone.
That puck gets tipped and over the bench.
Well, one thing Kitchener has to focus on, and they haven't done it most of the season and in the playoffs, is their turnovers in their own end. They've been very good in that department. But here early on, there's a turnover. Atkinson gets a chance and puts it right off the crossbar. I think Dickey was looking behind him thinking that it was in the net. But no, it did hit that crossbar and bounce out. But a tremendous shot by Atkinson.
He is looking for his second goal of the postseason. Atkinson born right here in Ottawa. His team down by 1 with 17:40 to go here in the second period. Dickey bouncing puck, and now he'll go after it. It's still loose. Up top, here's Mitsu with a shot. Scores! And this hockey game is tied. Pierre Mitsu gets his second goal of the postseason. He had the game winner against Toronto in Game 7.
Travis Sandy gets the puck to the net, and this is what I was talking about, getting traffic to the net. Dickey doesn't have the puck. He's scrambling around his crease. He's not set, so when Mitsu does get it, he's just turned around, and there's a pure lane for Mitsu to shoot the puck in, and Dickey just isn't solid on his feet. You can see that he's scrambling right there, and that's what gives Mitsu a little bit of an opportunity.
2:30 mark of this second period, and we've got 2 goals.
Well, Ottawa's come back strong. That they didn't let that first goal affect them, and they've done that all season long, and they're continuing to do it tonight.
Well, the 67's have tied it up, and they're looking for more. Here's Floyd moving into Shepard. Shepard throws it towards the net. Scott Dickey grabs that one, and he'll hang on.
This Ottawa team is a tremendous team. They have a lot of depth. You see Carter Travis standing there with the beard. That's his playoff beard on it, and it reminds me of 2 years ago when they were in Regina. They have 8 guys that were on that team in Regina, so they have a lot of experience. They don't give up, and they've learned how to win over the last couple of years.
There's Laboda. Takes the shot. A weak one. Comes back to him. He fans on that attempt, but keeps it in. The 67 starting to put some pressure on now. Derek Roy out there trying to stem the tide. He'll get it out to center. Brendan Bell back to his own zone, being watched by Gregory Campbell. Gets it to Sloboda. Sloboda. His pass tipped in by Locke. Boy going after it. Back 4. He's given a bump by Eminger. Locke throws it out in front. Shepard looking for it, but he was tied up by Derek Roy. Here's Gregory Campbell back for the Rangers. Centering pass looking for Clarkson, and Sloboda sent that out. Roy moving in with Clarkson. Here's Derek Roy. Eminger at the point, throws it towards the net, and Mensatore got a piece of that. And the rebound sent down the ice. And that's going to be icing. Well, this is not unfamiliar territory for the Ottawa 67's when it comes to being in the championship of the Ontario Hockey League.
No, 6 times in the finals, 2nd appearance in 3 seasons, and you can see how successful with Brian Kilray behind the bench. This team, he's learned how to win over the years, and he just does a tremendous job year in and year out. And being as successful as they have the last 3 years is incredible.
Now, they're a program that continues to be successful even with the turnover that is part of junior hockey. 5th in the Canadian Hockey League rankings, 1st in the Eastern Conference of the Ontario Hockey League. And Dickey hangs on to that shot. And the Kitchener Rangers have also gotten their taste of championship series action.
Well, Kitchener has a long tradition as well. They've been very successful getting to the finals. This team has been so well coached by Peter DeBoer. He's come in and turned their program right around, did a tremendous job.
Last time they were in the OHL final was 1990 when they lost to the Oshawa Generals. And that year the Generals won the Memorial Cup. They had a guy named Eric Lindros in the lineup. 15:47 to go here in the second period. And Dickey forced to make a big save, and he'll hang on to it. He was off balance as Lou Dickinson let that shot go.
Well, since the first goal against Ottawa has turned this period right around, they've come back, getting shots on net, getting in traffic. Little wrist shot. That's a nice low shot, making the goalie sprawl out. It's not an easy save to make. It's not like it's going right in his glove or at his block or up high. Nice and low, making Dickey have to work for his saves.
Dickey with 30 victories in the regular season. He was 37-3 Shots even now at 17 apiece. We're tied at 1. Game 2 of the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. Here's Martinowski. Centering pass. Benoit in the corner. Still has it. Sends it back up top. Caffrey. He'll backhand it in. Benoit back to the blue line. In behind the net. Martinowski. He's got Caffrey out front. And there's a quick shot by Evan McGrath that missed the target. Caffrey takes a bump. And McGrath in there to try and help him out, but Civic Centre comes up with a puck. He is being watched by McGrath, spins away from him. Up for Albiani. Albiani to Mitsu. Mitsu with a wrist shot. And the stick save there by Lou Dickey. Mitsu keeps it into the point. His shot deflects into the corner. Easton sends it around the boards, and the Rangers come away with 3 of them. McGrath centering pass. Martinowski, quick shot and a big save. And looking skyward is Chad McCaffrey as he was robbed by Lucas Mensator. And now pushing and shoving, and the net comes off the moorings. And we saw perhaps the emotion from the end of the first period, and we see it here in the second period.
This is going to be a long series, Kevin. These two teams are really fired up to play this game, but this is a terrific play. Since they scored their first goal, this is the best scoring chance here in the second. But a nice play, but left leg of Mensator getting across that crease, because he's not a big goaltender, but stretching out and getting all the way across as quickly as he did to make that save. That's just a tremendous save.
Now McCaffrey looking for his first point of the postseason. This is his 8th game. And he came close there, but Lucas Mensator shut the door. Made his 17th save of this period. For this hockey game so far, we've got 14:35 to go here in the second.
McCaffrey getting that shot on net. He's a 4th-line player who doesn't get to play a lot during the game, so he gets out on the ice, he gets a scoring chance. Maybe a little rusty, maybe not as prepared as he could be if he had a little more ice time. 7
goals during the regular season. Well, all of this leads to the Memorial Cup for the champion of the Ontario Hockey League. And if you want to be there in Quebec City, you need tickets, and here is the way to do it. Dial the 188 number, 299-9595, or go online, www.chl.ca. 8-5 the shots on goal in this second period in favor of the Ottawa 67's, who have tied the hockey game on the goal by Pierre Mitsu. 3-2 was the score in the first game, and that one into overtime. Gregory Campbell had a goal in that game. He's got the puck now. He's given a rough ride there by Brendan Bell. Back the other way. Foy looking for Locke. Quickly up for Shepard. Scott Shepard stops at the blue line. Shepard throws it out in front. Picked off by Clarkson. Kept in by Foy. Clarkson down on one knee. He thought about putting his hand on that puck. Did not, and used his stick to send it down the ice. And that'll be icing. We'll be back with more OHL Championship Series action right after this. Hockey News comes your way tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern, and then at 8 and 11:30. Here with 13:49 to go in the second period, a 1-1 hockey game. Derek Roy scored on the power play just 45 seconds into the period. Pierre Mitsu responded at the 2:30 mark. Kevin Quinn working alongside John Druce and the rest of the Sportsnet production crew. We're glad you're with us for Game 2 of the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. Game 3 goes in Kitchener on Tuesday. Shots even at 18 apiece. Mensator. We're looking for that loose puck. The Rangers will keep it in. McGrath centering it out in front. Oh, Navigon trying to get a shot away. That was blocked. He stays with it, though, and the Rangers keep the pressure on as Kanko tries to keep it in. 67's get it up to center. Eason will just flip it back in with Moyers waiting for it. Smith. That went off Kanko right down onto Scott Dickey, and he's going to hang on to it with Brian Bickle there.
And the shots are 18 shots apiece. Adam Smith has 3 shots on goal. I don't know if they'll count that as a shot. Here in Ottawa, they're pretty stingy, but not for their home team. Derek Roy for Kitchener has 4 shots on goal, so he's been very effective in this game.
Brian Bickle with an assist on that goal by Pierre Mitsu. And the rookie now has 8 points. He had a goal and an assist in Game 1.
Yep, these rookies for this team have really stepped up, playing on the 4th line and contributing. Bickle, Talbot have had a terrific game in Game 1.
Dickey again has to be sharp. 12 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the second period. There's Brian Bickle battling for that puck. Julian Talbot comes up with it in the corner. Centers it right out in front. Dickey steers that aside. And now Rafael Martinowski. He'll get to center and flip it in. Evan McGrath going after it. Pierre Mitsu, and he tie up. Mitsu trying to get it out. Martinowski battles with Mitsu. Cycle in the corner. Here's McCaffrey. Had that great chance earlier. Out in front for Martinowski, and he couldn't get the backhand away. Back the other way. Here comes Bickle. Brian Bickle gets to the blue line. He'll stop centering pass out in front for Talbot. And Dickey makes the save and then pays the price as Julian Talbot went right into him. And another one of the rookies in the Ottawa lineup, Julian Talbot. He had an assist in game one.
Well, again, this line has been tremendous. Julian Talbot gets an opportunity, drives hard to the net. That's aggressive. And we're just going to show how much of an impact these rookies have for this Ottawa team. Simikalis, Bickle, Talbot, 10 points, 8 points each. And another rookie, Lucas Mensator, has been their big star in goal. And you look at the other side of the board, Evan McGrath is the only rookie on their team that has been contributing throughout the playoffs. So this is how Kilray has utilized his rookies on this team, and they're stepping up big time. 4 guys.
Veterans trying to get it done. Shepard with a chance. And Dickey coming up big and loose puck in front. And the Rangers clear it away. So the rookies got the pressure, and now the veterans trying to get the lead for the first time for the 67's. There's Corey Locke. Right out in front of his own net. Got some room up the middle. Quick pass to Matt Foy. Foy moving in against Halkitis. Clarkson trying to get it away. Here's Gregory Campbell now off the boards for Derek Roy. Roy moving in against Loboda. Being watched by Bell. Roy still has it. Takes the shot. Mensator the save. He's looking around for it. And the whistle goes as Lucas Mensator continues to pay the price in the Ottawa 67's net. As Dave Clarkson was right there now. A little more pushing and shoving. As Roy and Bell exchange words, and Scott Shepard jumps in there. And Gregory Campbell gives Bell a shot.
We saw Brendan Bell and Gregory Campbell battling in the corner a little bit earlier in that shift. They're teammates at the World Junior Championships in Halifax, but here's a chance for Shepard off to the side of the net. He loves to sneak back door and get his scoring chances, and right there, a beautiful pass. Playing with this line with Locke and Foy, they make that puck move, so he has to be ready to get that puck away.
Well, you talked to Scott Shepard about playing on different lines, and he said, well, I'm playing with different guys, but you got to know that he loves playing with these top two guys.
Well, there's definitely a difference when you're playing with Lou Dickinson and Adam Smith between Corey Locke and Matt Foy. That puck's going to come to you when you don't expect it playing with these top guys.
183 points between Foy and Locke during the regular season. 11:25 to go here in the second period. Michael Richards, number 18 out there. He had 87 points for the Rangers during the regular season. Led that team in that category along with goals 37 and assists at 50. Albiani takes a bump in the corner. 67's keeping the pressure on now. Atkinson takes a bump. Albiani going after the puck, picks it up in the corner. Atkinson had that puck hop over his stick. Simikalis trying to keep it in, and a good defensive play there by Kenko as he gets it out. Here's a chance for Onamagon now. Moving in, takes the shot. Mensator steers that aside. Now Peter Kenko, another guy that would like to make an impact. He missed game one with suspension. And you know he would like to make an impact in this game too. Here's a guy with 19 points in the postseason so far. Here he is again, moving in. Kenko trying to get loose around Moyer. And Mensator clears it, but not out. Kenko. Richards throws it around the boards. Took a funny hop. And that allows the 67's to come away. Here's Lou Dickinson. Dickinson with a shot. And a good one. I think he had to be sharp. Well, Dickinson's been around. He is scrappy. He is an overager with 47 points during the regular season.
And Scott Shepard's right about playing with Dixon. He has tremendous speed. He'll get the puck to the net for you.
Todd trying to get a shot away. Couldn't do it. Has the puck again. Being watched by Benoit. Here's Lou Dickinson from the corner. Down low. Benoit tying him up. Smith trying to get it for the 67's. Mitsu will keep it in. Adam Smith Centers it out in front. And the Rangers come away. Martinowski, bouncing pass. He was looking for McGrath. McGrath tied up by Trevisani, and he gets knocked down. Both of them go into the corner heavily. And the puck is sitting there. It's still loose. Martinowski going after it. He's given a rough ride by Dickinson. Continues to work him over, but Martinowski hangs tough. And the puck is still alive. Now it's sitting there, and Dickinson fires it around the boards and out. Well, everybody concerned about the physical aspect of the play, and the puck sat there for a couple of seconds. An icing call. We'll be back with more from Ottawa right after this.
Carter Trevisani takes Evan McGrath into the boards very hard. Both of them hit. He hits his head very hard into the boards. And on the bench, you could see during this whistle break here that he was in a lot of pain. The trainer tending to him.
29 hits so far between these two teams. Ottawa leading, according to our count. That was the 15th hit for the 67's. And both big lines out there now, and it's offside at the Ranger blue line as Foy and Locke were in ahead, and Shepard had the puck.
And Brian Kilray likes to play his power against power. You'll see Corey Locke out there against Derek Roy, Gregory Campbell, Matt Foy and Campbell head to head against each other. It's tremendous hockey. I love it when they get the top players in these leagues playing against each other, and you can see the elite play out there.
And how about the defensive pairings as well, as Eminger is out for the Rangers and Brendan Bell for the 67's. Here's Foy with a shot. That one didn't get through. Back to the point it comes. Brendan Bell will keep it in. Throws it towards the net. And that one slides by. Quick shot and a quick save as Dickey makes the save on Matt Foy. 24-19 the shots on goal in favor of the 67's with 8:26 to go here in the second period. Here's Sloboda through a crowd. And that gets deflected up and into the netting.
Obviously, Kitchener has had a letdown since they scored the first goal of the game. They scored their goal, and it just seems since then Ottawa has stepped their game up enough in the tempo of the game, and they're out shooting their opponents 15-6 in the second period. They were outshot in the first period 13-10 by Kitchener. So Ottawa really stepping their game up to the next level.
Kitchener scoring on the power play just 45 seconds into that first period. Derek Roy getting the goal, and Andre Benoit picking up the only other assists. Bodies continuing to fly as Nabagon got knocked down. Kanko back up top it comes. Halkitis with a shot through a crowd, and Mensador tips that one, and that one hits the mesh.
Well, Kitchener's in the offensive zone right now, and off face-offs, you have to be a key as a winger picking up guys coming through the face-off circle. Jeremy Atkinson is picking up his man coming through the face-off in the other end of the ice, but the puck was closer to him than it was to his defenseman. You got to make a decision as a winger. Do you knock the puck back first and then get in front of your guy coming out? Or, you got to make that decision right away so that your D-man has time. That's why the face-off's in the offensive zone now for Kitchener.
And Richards set to take the draw for the Rangers. Richards trying to get a shot away, bouncing puck, and is picked up by Dickinson. He's got Smith with him. Lou Dickinson moving in. Dickinson stops, waits, throws it out in front, and a good defensive play there by George Halkitis. In behind the net, bouncing puck in front, and again Halkitis with a good play as he broke up that pass. Todd keeping it in for the 67's. Todd still has it, gives it to Smith. The big body's out there for Ottawa. There's a shot by Smith, tipped aside by Dickey. Brody Todd will keep it in. Number 12 moving out, trying to center it out in front. Back to the point, Colbert with a shot. That one missed the target. Rangers want to relieve the pressure, and they'll start out. Here's Richards up for Kanko. He'll chop it in, and it's picked up by Moyer. 7:08 to go here in the second period. Adam Smith moving in. Peter Kanko knocks him down. Play continues. The puck goes right to Dickey, and he'll cover it up.
Steve Eminger is playing a lot of hockey in these playoffs, and it seems like he's on the ice every other shift. He plays against the top line, and as well he's been playing against second and third lines. In that last shift, he's battling against Lou Dickinson, and you can just see the fatigue. And I was talking to him earlier today. He says it seems like every game that he plays, he goes, "Oh, that's got to be the most ice time I've played. That's got to be the most." But he is really wearing down. There's been a lot of traffic in front of him. He's played against all the top lines in every series.
Well, he played 17 games with the big club in Washington. Got 2 assists. Here's King keeping a 1-1 tie here, but they're under pressure as that puck goes up and over the boards.
Julian Talbot, brother of Joe Talbot, and that Ottawa 67 player. And talking to Kilray, says Julian was the same as Joe is when he came into the league, and Joe didn't develop into Joe Talbot until he was here a year or so. And he says Julian's right on the same pace. He'll be a great player for this team.
Now Joe Talbot has a Memorial Cup ring from 1999. Moving in now, here's Grenier. Matt Grenier centering it out in front. Quick shot there by McGrath. He slid that one just wide. As McCaffrey getting his chances. Martinowski now bounces it off the boards. Grenier going after it. He's got Chad McCaffrey with him. McCaffrey in the corner, sends it out in front. Trevisani clears it, and it hops over the stick of Andre Benoit down into the Ranger territory with 6:13 to go here in the second period. Benoit, ninth among defensemen in scoring in this postseason. Pierre Mitsu has the goal for the 67s, gives it to Corey Locke. Locke doesn't see anything he can use, so he flips it right up the middle. Alcides to Derek Roy, and Roy takes a bump from the rookie Bickle, and they continue to jostle as the puck goes into the 67's end. Now a turnover. Here's Clarkson. Clarkson trying to get loose, still has it. Alcides moving in from his defensive position, sends it in around behind the net. Campbell to Derek Roy. Roy in the corner. Bickle gives him a bump and gets a little help from Trevisani. Campbell sends it back up top, and that was picked off. Here's Foy. And a good defensive play by George Alcides. Locke carries on, takes the shot, and that one missed the target. Eminger moves it up for Clarkson. Clarkson hit by Bell. Another shot into the boards. Clarkson then hit again, knocked down. Campbell in there trying to help him out. Foy comes up with a puck for Ottawa. And he gets taken down, and a penalty coming up. And the Ottawa 67s are going to get their second power play opportunity of this hockey game when we come back, as Gregory Campbell is going to be heading to the penalty box. You're watching the OHL here on Sportsnet. Well, it's not Gregory Campbell who's in the penalty box. It's Dave Clarkson at 15:04 for hooking, and the second opportunity for the 67s with the man advantage. Their 0 for 1 did not get a shot on that power play chance. Here's Locke trying to get a shot away. That's blocked. Boy, George Alcides, and another penalty coming up. And so much for the power play. And Scott Shepard's going to go for interference.
Well, I know Pete DeBoer wasn't happy with the call on Clarkson behind the net earlier in the shift. There was a play earlier that a penalty possibly could have been called. But Pat Small is calling this game very closely. I think he's doing a tremendous job. Scott Shepard's going to go to the box for an interference call. Right off screen, right in front of the net, you can see Shepard knocking the guy down to the ice.
Oh, we've seen this before. We've got 4-on-4 hockey now for the next minute and 40 seconds. Here's Brendan Bell up the middle for Matt Foy. Foy moving in. Foy still has it in behind the net. He's ridden into the boards by Alcides. Back the other way. Taking the shot. Richards. He gets thrown down by Carter Trevisani. Foy back the other way. Trying to send a home run pass. That was broken up. Brendan Bell carries on. Lets the shot go. Dickey the save. And he'll hang on.
This is definitely an advantage for Ottawa when they're on the ice. With the speed of Corey Locke and especially Matt Foy and Brendan Bell jumping up ice with them, Brendan Bell can turn things on so quickly. He gets his feet going. It's almost like he has a second and third gear and nobody can catch him. And he gets a nice shot on net just from utilizing their speed coming up the ice. Now these two guys, it's a dynamic duo. They're incredible all season long. In the playoffs, they have 60 points combined. They're incredible too to play against, and to watch them play is amazing. But you can see in the playoffs a +26 rating, and they were at 2 points per game as well as regular season. Early in this playoffs, they've let down a little bit. But Corey Locke took a puck in the mouth earlier in the playoffs, slowed him down a little bit, but he scored the OT game winner.
That didn't slow him down too much. 54 seconds until the Rangers go on their second power play. Gregory Campbell. He falls down. Kept in, though, by Andre Benoit. Benoit to Campbell. Campbell winds, fires a shot. Metzator makes the save. Moyer comes up with it, can't get it by Campbell. Now he'll have another chance and moves out. Quick pass up for Albiani. Matthew Albiani takes his time, centering pass. And then he was looking for Civicalis when he got knocked down. Back the other way. Benoit moving in, he'll stop. Campbell's out in front, trying to tip it. Albiani picks it up in the corner. 13 seconds until the Rangers have a brief power play. Just over 3 minutes to go here in the second period. We're tied at 1. Andre Benoit off the boards, looking for Kanko. Moving in, here's a chance. Alkidis stopped by Mentador. Big chance out in front as Richards was looking for that loose puck. Kanko in there as well, but Lucas Mentador stands his ground and keeps it a 1-1 game.
He seems to be stepping things up again, but a nice play by Richards to slide that puck over. Now, Alkidis is a defenseman jumping up on the play right there. But it's loose lying around. He doesn't stick around to look for it. And that loose puck, that second chance by Richards coming in. Mentador is just stepping up his game in these last 2 games.
Well, the Rangers with a 7-second power play right now. And that is over, so Scott Shepard steps back on the ice. Team's at even strength, so that will not be icing, as the penalty just expired. 2.5 minutes to go here in the second period. Atkinson moving in, takes the shot. And Dickey got a blocker on that. Peter can't go back the other way. Here's Mike Richards. Richards centering pass, looking for Nabagon. That was broken up. Pass got it out and down the ice. Amateur takes his time with Dickinson watching him, gets it to Kanko. Now back the other way. Here comes Lou Dickinson. Dickinson driving from net, takes the backhand. Dickey makes the save and he'll hang on to it with Brody Todd right there.
Dickinson's had a terrific game getting to the net with a lot of speed and creating traffic by just utilizing his speed. If he has wingers going to the net, and Scott Shepard said it earlier in the broadcast how important it is playing with Dickinson, and they get there. Dickinson has 4 shots on net during the game, so you get there for rebounds. Dale Hunter was a terrific guy at getting the puck to the net when he entered the offensive zone. There's a lot of garbage to be found laying around that net.
Dickinson with 2 goals in the postseason, had 21 during the regular season. 1:57 to go here in the second period. 29-23. The shots on goal favor the 67's, and an icing call against Kitchener.
Mentador is very focused. He doesn't waste a lot of energy. He takes his time during between whistles. And sometimes you see a lot of goalies speeding around in the corner, wasting energy. It's kind of a nervous habit, but he's very relaxed in his net.
4th among goaltenders in the postseason. Goals against to a 2.5. Andre Benoit moving it up, going after it now. Grenier cleared by Mentador into the corner. Kept in, Martinowski in behind the net. Setting up, moves out in front, takes the shot. And that one didn't miss by much. All kinds of traffic in front. And Matt Grenier picks it up at the blue line. He gets spun around and back the other way as Todd puts it in. Dickinson going after it. Eason gets there first, takes a bump, keeps it alive. Here's Todd. Todd in the corner. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go in the period. Caffrey sends it into the corner. Smith will pick it up there for the 67's. Gives it to Todd. He is tied up by Eason. They battle for that loose puck. Dickinson in there to help out. Lou Dickinson comes up with it, trying to muscle his way out in front. Less than a minute to go now in the second period. Comes out in front, and the Rangers start away. Martinowski. Benoit drops it back. He was looking for Grenier. Rangers trying to keep it in, and they do. Trying to get a shot away as Grenier. That was blocked. And Shepard back the other way. Moyer. Didn't get much wood on it, and Benoit will get it out to center with 28 seconds to go now. Here's Moyer. He will fire it in. Dickey's going to stop it behind the net, play it around the board. Shepard waiting for it. Still has it. Back up top it goes. Here's Laboda. Side of the net looking for Locke. He didn't get good wood on it. 12 seconds to go. Shepard with a shot, and that was blocked before it could get through. And here's Derek Roy. Chance for one last rush. Roy moving in with Campbell. Roy throws it towards the net. That one missed the target. And that will do it for the second period. And we have seen 2 goals scored in the first 2.5 minutes of this period. And that's where we stand. It's 1-1 after 40 minutes. We've got plenty more heading your way right after this. It's like a newspaper. The Hockey Central Playoff Edition is daily. It comes your way at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. The Memorial Cup comes your way Saturday, May 17th. We'll have the first game from Quebec City right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Right now, let's go downstairs and join John Druce. John.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Gregory Campbell, the Kitchener Rangers. Gregory, you got the first goal of the game, exactly what you guys needed to do. It seemed like you guys let down a little bit after that first goal. Ottawa turned it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens after a goal, especially, they're playing at home, so, after a goal, they have to come out with, a hard next shift, and that's what they did, and they followed up pretty well. Hopefully they don't build off the momentum too much, and we can get back in it here.
Well, I know you yourself have built off on some momentum in the playoffs. 14 goals in the playoffs. You only had 23 during the regular season. What are you doing differently, or what are you trying to focus on every game?
I think my job is just to, to be a hard winger, go down the walls, create room for Derek and the other winger on my line, create havoc in front of the net, and just try to be a leader for this team. I've been to the finals before once. Obviously, I didn't play a very significant role, but I learned a lot along the way, and hopefully I can bring that to the table with this team.
Now you're with the finals with Peter DeBoer as well. Peter DeBoer is now the head coach here. How has he helped you in your career in Kitchener?
He's been a tremendous help to me, him and Steve. They're so knowledgeable and they have so much respect around the league that I'm happy to be with them this year. You learn so much from them. They've been around a lot. This is their 3rd or 4th finals that they've been to, and it's just a pleasure being with them.
Thanks for joining us, Gregory. Good luck in the 3rd.
Thanks for having me.
Kitchener got things started as Derek Roy, 45 seconds in, a power play marker. Ottawa's come back. We're tied at 1 after 2. Time now for the play of the period, brought to you by CCM, when you're born to play.
Well, Lucas Metzator again steps up to the plate, makes a huge save on McCaffrey, coming down on the offside of the net, slides across and makes a big save. You think the goaltender's out of the play, but this is what he's been doing in the first 2 games, and he continues to do it. After 2 periods of play, tied at 1.
We're back at the Ottawa Civic Centre, and the young fans here watching their team play, and not one of those fans born when John Druce was a star with the Peterborough Peaks. Good 40 minutes here. We're tied at 1.
Well, a couple goals scored in the period. Kitchener got things started for their team. Derek Roy continuing to have a terrific game, gets them on the board first. Pierre Mitsu gets a nice goal and a feed from behind the net to score the tying goal.
Well, it didn't take long, just 45 seconds into the second period.
Well, getting guys to the net, Kitchener did a good job starting off, getting traffic in front, and Derek Roy finds himself with a loose puck off to the side, finally rewarded for his efforts. And Pierre Mitsu gets a nice goal. Scott Dickey is scrambling a little bit behind his net. Once the puck gets to him, he doesn't quite get set. He's trying to get that puck, and as it comes out, Mitsu's all alone and finds Dickey a little bit off balance and gets the puck right through him.
His second goal of the postseason, his first, a game winner against Toronto.
Things are pretty even here after 40 minutes of play. 54% still. Kitchener out winning on the face-off. The hit department is pretty close. Now the shots, it's a complete turnaround. Ottawa is now out shooting Kitchener. Dickinson and Smith, 4 shots apiece. Derek Roy and Richards, 4 shots and 3 apiece. So both teams, it's a little bit more of a closer game, but Ottawa has stepped it up a bit. Kitchener has to rise up to that level, match their play.
Ottawa out shooting Kitchener in that second period, 19-10. As Brian Kilray looking for his 4th OHL Championship and hopes to come away with his 3rd Memorial Cup. We know that he's got his 5th Coach of the Year honor.
Brian Kilray, again, has been tremendous. Now, I know Dick Todd boasts that he has a winning record against Brian Kilray, so Peter DeBoer wanted to bring Dick Todd in and get him in front of Kilray and maybe throw him off his game a little bit. So
said he was a perfect 7-0.
There's Killer's banner.
What an outstanding job by Brian Kilray, and it's the longevity and the success. We've talked about it before, the rookies in the lineup for the Ottawa 67's and how they contribute. Year after year, the scouting staff finds the players that allows this Ottawa 67's team to be so competitive, but don't count out the Kitchener Rangers. the #1 team in the Ontario Hockey League during the regular season. Game 1 went into overtime. We're tied at 1 here as the third period is underway. Alkita sends it in deep. It's picked up by Sloboda. It's up for Corey Locke. On pass for Scott Shepard. He leaves it there for Foy. Foy moving in, trying to get it back to him. He takes another shot. Dickey the save. Well, you expect the shots on goal. We saw the stars of the Kitchener Rangers leading in that department, but interesting that Foy and Locke don't lead in that department.
Kilray is using all 4 lines. He's getting those guys out there. They're going to be well rested. If this goes into a long series, he's going to have the depth working out on his side. Game 3 is Tuesday in Kitchener, and the bodies flying early here is Sloboda. Throws his weight around, sent it out in front. Here's a chance, and what a save by Metsator. He got the quick glove hand up and absolutely robbed Dave Clarkson. And Clarkson is shaking his head. Now, Clarkson hasn't been on the line with Derek Roy and Gregory Campbell all season long. He's getting an opportunity here in the playoffs, and a nice feed from the corner from hard work from Gregory Campbell and Derek Roy in the corner to get that puck out to him. You see Campbell, he takes a hit to make the play, and it's right on the tape, but Metsator makes the big save again. Lucas Metsator, the first star in Game 1 with 59 saves. He has made 23 here. Lou Dickinson, mentioned leading in shots on goal, now playing a defensive role as Richards. Tied up in the corner, sends it back up top. Eason with a shot, kicked aside by Metsator. Mike Richards out there with Peter Kanko. Centered out in front, there's a shot, scores! That one trickled through as O'Navigon let it go, and it got in behind Lucas Metsator. This is the start that Kitchener needed to have. Get the puck in deep, battle in the corners. What they did in the on their first goal in the second period, they got traffic in front of the net. And again, they're winning battles, and they already had one good scoring chance against. But this here play right here gets it out, and a good quick release. Don't waste any time, and O'Navigon gets that shot away. 1:19 into the third period. They score a goal. They scored 45 seconds in for the second period. And the Kitchener Rangers have retaken the lead. Nathan O'Navigon gets his 8th goal of the postseason. Here's Martinowski, steps into a shot, and Metsator got a piece of that. Bickle. He is stopped. McCaffrey will backhand it in. There's Moyer. Up for Bickle. Bickle, long cross ice pass. Moving in is Talbot. That hopped over a stick. Bickle going after it. McCaffrey gets there first. Bickle ends up with the puck in the corner. Trying to send it out in front, looking for Scully. That's picked off, and Martinowski gets it down the ice, and Metsator will play it. 2-1 the score now. The Rangers trying to even this series at a game apiece. Clarkson was robbed just moments before. Nathan O'Navigon gave the Rangers a 2-1 lead. And that's going to be an icing call against Kitchener. Peter DeBoer is trying to get this Kitchener Ranger team to have a mismatch in lines. They got Derek Roy out against Peter Simikalis, who is a rookie this year. And what Kilray wants most of the time is to have his top line out against Derek Roy's line, but Peter DeBoer trying to take advantage of it. Simikalis lines up for this draw. Raw wins that draw easily. Here's Clarkson. He takes a bump from Atkinson. Simikalis trying to keep it in. Derek Roy back in behind his net, sends it around the boards. Campbell moves it up quickly to Clarkson. Here's Dave Clarkson, still has it. Clarkson trying to get a shot away. Clarkson in deep. Now in behind the net, trying to wrap it around out in front. Roy will keep it in. Roy's the check from Sloboda. Bell now after him. Derek Roy fends them both off. He's got the puck. Roy throws it towards the net, and a screen provided by Clarkson. Here's Clarkson again. Simikalis watching him as it comes to Derek Roy. Roy winds, fakes the shot, moves in, still has it. He was checked by Sloboda. And back the other way, here comes Peter Simikalis. Simikalis moving in, takes the shot to Dickey the save. Eason takes a bump. Clear but not out. Simikalis takes the bump and he tries to keep it in. Roy. He'll just flip it out and down into the Ottawa end.
With 16 minutes, 24 seconds to go here in the third period. A 2-1 lead for the Kitchener Rangers. Block with a shot that one blocked before it got through. The big line out there now for Ottawa. Shepard, Locke, and Foy. Trevisani racing after it. Mensahtor clears it, and he almost paid the price as Navigon was there. Back the other way. Here's Scott Shepard at the blue line. Cross ice pass. Navigon will pick it up and start away. Peter Kanko now moving in. Kanko. He is checked by Mitsu. Cleared around the boards and comes out. Shepard drops it for Locke. Locke trying to get away from Richards, and it's offside at the Rangers' blue line.
Well, when Corey Locke has the puck, you have to be aware. He's not one of those guys who's going to dump it in and go for a dump it in and chase type of system. So Matt Foy was offside on that play. He has to be patient and realize that Corey Locke's going to hang on to that puck and wait. Matt Foy got a little bit anxious, but Corey Locke just tremendous with that puck. Anytime anybody's around him, they have to watch the body because he can do magic with it.
Coach's poll had him as the most improved player, and his numbers back that up. Russ Moyer sends it around the boards. Will Colbert trying to get it out. Todd will give it to Lou Dickinson. Dickinson moving in, still has it. Dickinson with a shot. Dickey the save. Loose in front. And Lou Dickinson with a great burst. Martinowski moving in. He's got Grenier with him. Grenier in behind the net, avoids the check. And Martinowski had to head to the bench without his helmet. Here's Colbert. He moves in and is content to dump it in. 14 minutes, 57 seconds to go here in the third period. Here's Clarkson. And that pass across two lines.
Well, Lou Dickinson had a tremendous opportunity busting down the ice, and he's been doing it all game long. It was his 5th shot in the game. Now, he was a very highly touted player coming into the Ontario Hockey League, and he makes a terrific move getting by the defenseman, using his speed, getting to the net. He even has the focus to get that shot away when his feet are being pulled out from underneath him. That's his 5th shot of the game, but he's been doing that all night long.
He was a highly scouted draft pick of the Mississauga Ice Dogs in their expansion year. And now he finds himself with the Ottawa 67's in the Ontario Hockey League Championship Final. 32-27, the shots on goal in favor of the 67's, but they trail 2-1. 14:50 to go here in the third period. Trevisani in behind his own net. The big line up front for the 67's. Locke. Pass to Shepard. Shepard. He'll fire it in. Around the boards on the other side. Trevisani trying to keep it in. Derek Roy trying to get it out. Takes a bump from Foy. Knocked him down. And Halkitis will get it out and down the ice. George Halkitis has played a strong defensive game for the Kitchener Rangers. Now here's Locke moving in. Fakes the shot. Now he'll snap one. And Halkitis got the stick in the way. Shepard will keep it in. Chopped at it. Clarkson will get it out across the blue line. Trevisani to Foy, and Locke could not clear the zone in time. It's offside.
You mentioned Halkitis, how well he's played. He has been one of the best consistent defensemen on this team. He leads the league with a +17. So George Halkitis not only defensively does a terrific job, but offensively as well. He moves the puck so well. Peter DeBoer loves the way he moves the puck. He passes the puck like a professional, like he said.
A career high in goals this year during the regular season. He had 10. He is still looking for his first of the postseason. But he is 5th among defensemen in scoring with 14 points. Julian Talbot throws it out in front. And that is picked off and back the other way. Kanko. Moving up, Navigon. He has given his team the lead. He takes a bump as Bickle collides with him. Kanko in there trying to get that loose puck. Comes out to center. Andre Benoit waiting for it. Richards, Navigon, and Kanko up front for the Kitchener Rangers. Back the other way. Here's Julian Talbot. Talbot moving in, takes the shot, rebound in front. And Sean Scully was going after it. On the pad save by Dickey. There's a stick save. And again, the 4th line for the Ottawa 67 putting on some pressure. Scully. Pass for Simikalis. That didn't work. Pierre Mitsu back into his own zone. Being watched by Grenier. He'll shoot it in. Dickey thought about going out and playing it. He'll leave it for Benoit. Into the corner, so McDowell's out in front. There's a shot. That didn't miss by much. Bickle trying to center it out in front. Here's Albiani. Back up top. And Mitsu on a good defensive play there by Matt Grenier as Grenier got it down the ice. But Albiani comes close to tying this hockey game, but Dickey has been outstanding. 12:38 to go here in the third period. The Rangers up by 1. Just a minute 19 into this third period. Nathan O'Navigon gave his team back the lead. Simicallis centering it out in front, looking for Atkinson. Albiani throws it across. And a good stick there by Dickey. And now a goal! Side of the net, put it home. Jeremy Atkinson, right place, right time. We're tied at 2.
Well, Kevin, you said it at the commercial break, this line being rewarded for a good shift earlier. And this is exactly what they did earlier. They put pressure on, get the puck to the front of the net. Now it goes back to the point, and where the mistake's made, the two guys cover one guy out front. Atkinson comes out all by himself from behind the net and gets a little redirection into the net. You can tell the relief off of this chef putting that goal in.
His second goal of the postseason. Jeremy Atkinson at 6:43 has given his team back a 2-2 tie. They have come back twice in this hockey game. And remember, it was 2-2 when they went to overtime in Game 1 on Friday. Now the big line out there for the 67's trying to get the lead. Here's a chance for Locke in front. Dickey with a quick stick. Back the other way. Clarkson. Roy crosses the blue line. Still has it. Derek Roy. Up top it goes. And the 67's break it up, and it's the big line again. Here's Foy. Battling in the corner. Eminger comes away with a puck, and he'll start out. Eminger takes his time. Roy will flip it in with Campbell. Campbell in the corner. Roy helping him out. Clarkson in there as well. Puck squirts loose, and it's picked up by Bell. Tipped in. Racing forward is Lou Dickinson as he has had some jump tonight. Here's Lou Dickinson in the corner battling with Eason. Benoit in there trying to help out. Eason's lost his helmet, and we get the whistle.
This game is brought to you by Via Rail Canada. The renaissance of passenger rail has begun. More trains, faster trains, and better services. Make Via Rail your choice for travel.
Just over 11 minutes to go here in the third period. We're tied at 2. And Brody Todd getting his chance in the absence of Rodney Bauman. Bauman actually took the warm-up and then came off early. And what was the injury? Well, at playoff time, folks.
You just don't find out.
A lower body injury, perhaps. There's Kanko in behind his own net. He's got some room up the middle. Kanko skates by Lou Dickinson. Kanko with a good head of steam, cutting for the net, trying to get around Mitsu, and he is hauled down, lost his stick. Clear but not out. And wow, will keep it in. Here's Richards. Richards with a shot and a glove save there by Lucas Mensator.
Peter Kanko was looking for a penalty to be called on him a little bit earlier in this shift. But in the playoffs, things like that just aren't called. He makes a nice move, uses his body to try to drive through. And a good play by Travis Henny to knock his stick away, prevent a scoring chance. Good defensive play by both of those guys. But Peter Kanko, that's what he has to do. Get through that traffic, get in the nasty areas, and drive hard to the net.
An LA draft pick, third rounder in 2002, went 66th overall. On the faceoff, back to Andre Benoit, looking for shooting room, takes the shot through a crowd, and Mensator had to be sharp, and he got a stick on it and deflected it up into the netting.
Now in the second period, Ottawa stepped it up after they scored their first goal of the game. Kitchener scored, Ottawa responded. Again, in the second period, same thing. We saw a little bit of that already. Ottawa has stepped it up, but Kitchener doesn't seem to be letting off as much as they did in the second.
10.5 minutes to go here in regulation time. Richards will take the draw against Dickinson, wins it back to the point. Andre Benoit waiting for it, throws it towards the net. Into the corner it goes. McGrath picks it up. Trying to find Richards. Out there with Kenko. Peter Kenko can't get a shot in traffic. Back the other way. Here's Dickinson going after it. Rangers get it out to center. Atkinson, the goal scorer, with an assist to Colbert and Albiani at 6:43. Moving in now. McGrath trying to get a shot away. In behind the net, still has it. Ball centers it on foot, scores. Peter Kenko has given the Rangers back the lead. Suspended in game 1. Makes his presence felt here in game 2.
Kenko scores a goal, but Evan McGrath has to be given credit. The young rookie comes in and doesn't give up on the play. He has the puck and gets hauled down, or he falls down actually, and gets the puck out still to Kenko. Well, talking to Peter DeBoer, Peter Kenko was the type of guy that they missed in game 1. He said that he's the one guy that could have made or broke that game, and sure enough, he puts his team ahead by a goal.
33 goals during the regular season. He's got number 9 here in the postseason at 10:03, and as John mentioned, the rookie Evan McGrath gets his 2nd assist of the playoffs. And the Rangers retake the lead. Foy with a shot. Dickey juggled that one. Foy. Shepard. Lock up front now for the 67's, trying to tie this game again. Here's a chance. Bouncing back in front. Scores! Scott Shepard has tied the game. Just 22 seconds after the Rangers take the lead, the big line responds.
Well, right there, Scott Dickey fumbles the first shot. This is just after a goal scored by his team, and he has to come up big for his team. But again, the puck gets to the net, bounces around a little bit. Shepard out front, creating some traffic, makes the tip, and he finds himself with a loose puck. So Scott Dickey just doesn't get a glove on that one as it trickles through him. And now again, the game is tied.
Well, we talked about Shepard saying he didn't mind playing anywhere, but if he's given his choice, he'd want to play with Foy and Locke. And it pays off there as this game is tied. Well, for the 3rd time, the Rangers take the lead only to see the 67's come back and tie it up. 9 minutes, 12 seconds to go here in regulation time. The 67's 8-2 at home in the playoffs. The Rangers 6-1 on the road. Eminger in deep, trying to keep that puck in, battling with the rookie Bickle. In behind the net, Martinowski. He gets knocked down, gets the puck again. Here's Martinowski in the corner, back up top to Eminger. Eminger throws it towards the net. Bickle trying to get it out from his knees, and he does. The Julian Talbot. Brendan Bell picking up the assists on the goal by Scott Shepard. Here's Sean Scully centering it out in front. Eminger there to pick it up, being watched by Simikalis. Simikalis takes him into the boards. Puck sitting there, and Halkitis comes up with it. He'll get it to Grenier. Back Grenier. He'll flip it in and then head off as the Rangers make changes. 8:17 to go here in regulation time. Richards. Oh, Navigon. Here's Mike Richards. Moving in, takes the shot, and it went right through the crease. Kenko on the near side. He gets tied up with Brendan Bell. Atkinson will clear it down the ice, and that will be icing against the 67's. We're tied at 3 here in Game 2 of the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series. The OHL champion, either Kitchener or Ottawa, will be in Quebec City, and we will as well for the MasterCard Memorial Cup.
To look at Scott Shepard's goal, just gets through Dickey. Shepard always finds himself around that crease area near that blue paint, and he gets rewarded for it.
His 12th goal of the postseason, had an assist in Game 1. He has 24 points in the postseason. And we've got 7:50 to go here in regulation time. Tied at 3. Lou Dickinson out there with Brody Todd. Richards trying to tie up Dickinson in behind the net. Todd in there looking for that puck. Easton trying to watch him. Now Kenko comes up with it. Kenko moves it out. And here's Andre Benoit. Benoit fights to the technical quarter. Still has it. Takes another bump. And it finally gives up the puck. Back the other way. Smith moving in, and he gets absolutely flattened by Peter Kanko. What a hit. Scoring goals and laying out bodies.
Well, Peter Kanko has been a valuable asset in tonight's game. Andre Benoit pinches down on the play. He's a defenseman who's going to pinch up on the play. You can see him down low at the bottom of the circle, and right here on the point, Kanko is backing up like a defenseman. Very responsible for him to do that, but not only that, he takes the big man, Adam Smith, out of the play hard. Peter Kanko is not big in stature, but he plays a physical game. He's not a typical European player, and he goes out and plays hard every game in and game out, and I love to see that from him.
5'10", 190 pounds. Adam Smith, 6'1", 200 pounds. And Kanko won that battle.
He's just glad to be back. He missed the first game. He's getting it all out here in the second.
A goal at 10:03 that gave his team a brief lead at 3-2. And Smith from opposite benches communicating. And you know Smith was going to look for a little revenge. Now the big line out there for both teams. Derek Roy moving in with Campbell and Clarkson. Here's Dave Clarkson. Takes a bump from Brendan Bell. Bell comes up with a puck, and he'll fire it out. Eminger back to pick it up. Gives it away to Locke, but Campbell is there defensively. Gregory Campbell to Alkitis. Gets it back again. Campbell to Eminger. Steve Eminger. He'll just ease it in. Clarkson going after it. Loboda gives him a bump. Puck still loose. In behind the net, comes back up top. Halkitis has got it, takes a shot to a crowd. Roy and Campbell going after that loose puck, but it's the 67's who come up with it. Foy. Halkitis. 6 minutes, 15 seconds to give away. Here's Brendan Bell moving in. Foy lets the shot go. Dickey to save. Rebound in front. Another shot blocked before it could get through. Foy with a chance. That one blocked by Eminger. Back the other way, here comes Derek Roy. He's got Campbell with him. Roy drops it. Eminger moving in. Eminger trying to get a shot away. That was blocked. Now we're back the other way for the 67. Simikalis moving in. Couldn't get a good shot away. Gets it in. Another shot. Dickey the save. Simikalis in the corner. Bumped by Halkitis. Fights through that. Great action here in the third period. Clarkson wants to relieve the pressure, and he'll get it down the ice as the Rangers make changes.
Well, Scott Dickey was tested a couple times, didn't control the rebounds, give Ottawa second and third chances to get good, clean shots.
Stopped at the blue line. Martinowski out there now with Renier and McCaffrey. Bouncing puck, Andre Benoit. An active stick takes it away from Atkinson. Benoit has it again. Sent in deep. In behind the net, Mansador lost his balance. Ravasani clears that into the corner. Out of harm's way, Grenier keeping it in. Here's Martinowski moving it up front, takes the shot, and that one slid through the crease. Cleared out to center. Benoit bodies that puck down. And then a bump there as Grenier was flattened by Albiani, and he's getting up slowly. Matt Grenier sent hard into the boards by Matthew Albiani. We have seen some dynamite hitting going on here, but that one may have been a little bit late. We'll come back to Ottawa right after this here on Sports.
Peter Simikalis gets a nice shot on net, putting a lot of pressure on Dickey. He's been having a hard time controlling rebounds. This one he does a good job. But then at the whistle, a tough play in front of the 67's bench. Albiani comes in. There was a glove-to-head pass. But Albiani takes his man out hard from behind. That's questionable right there.
Matt Grenier was on the receiving end of that hit. 4:53 to go here in regulation time. 39-30. The shots on goal in favor of the 67's were tied at 3. Dickey clears it around the boards. Kept in by the 67's. Quick shot. Dickinson in behind the net. He'll keep it in with Brody Todd. Back to Dickinson. Takes the shot. That one blocked before it could get through as Eason was there. Kanko, he's had a strong game. He's up front now. Moving in, Richards winds, fires the shot. Mansador the save. Richards, rebound out in front, looking for O'Navigon. Benoit steps into the shot. Oh, what a save by Lucas Mansador. Andre Benoit got all of that one. Mensator with a quick glove hand.
Well, terrific play by Richards. He does things quietly, but he makes things happen and gets a good shot on net, makes a nice play, and this is where Benoit finds a loose puck laying around. And Benoit can score goals, 22 goals during the regular season for a defenseman, but he is a forward who's converted back to defense, so he knows what to do around the net.
Former first-round draft pick of the Kitchener Rangers attended New Jersey's camp. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to go in regulation time. Overtime was the order of the day in game one. Adam Smith with the game winner at the 4:31 mark. Carlos Loboda. Corey Locke. Quick pass to Scott Shepard. Here's Shepard. Stops. Out in front! And Locke was going after it, and he went right into the net and knocked it off the moorings.
The Ontario Hockey League on Sportsnet. Brought to you by the new Don Cherry Tall Boy Can. Now free inside cases of Molson Canadian playoff packs and perfect for watching the game. By Tim Hortons Iced Cappuccino. Tim Hortons Iced Cap. Totally creamy, totally cool. And by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
In the center of the ice, Corey Locke is waiting and hesitating to see what to do because Matt Foy was a far side winger. He hesitates for that little bit, gives the defenseman enough time to grab him and haul him down.
3-3 the score with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in regulation time. McCaffrey up front now. Comes right out in front. Back up top, here's Benoit. Benoit throws it towards the net with a wrist shot that hit Trevisani. Eason. He'll take his time and he'll just flip it in. Pierre Mitsu is there. 67's send it down the ice, and that is going to be icing. Well, what a slow start to this hockey game, but it sure picked up in the second and third period.
Well, Derek Royce had a tremendous game. He created things early for his team, led him as a captain should do. Scott Shepard, his 12th goal of the playoffs, a big tying goal here in the third period. And Canco and Richards have been terrific as well. Canco showing his muscle, knocking guys around and driving hard to the net.
Flattened Adam Smith as Peter DeBoer said his team did everything right in game one. They just didn't get the goals. They took 61 shots. And you can't really argue with a game plan that creates 61 shots.
Well, we talked to Peter, and I thought that they would have come in the night before, but he says that they chartered in. That's something an NHL team would do, not an Ontario Hockey League team.
Well, he said you do that in May.
Yeah.
It's the only time.
Well, but the other benefit of it, he says Ottawa's doing it as well. So there's no bus legs to be concerned about.
Wow, this big league is fired in by Canco. Moyer. Just over 3 minutes to go in regulation time. Eason trying to keep it in, can't do it. Brody Todd comes up with it. Pass for Smith didn't work. Lou Dickinson picks it up. Smith to Todd, and that went off his stick, and it's a souvenir.
Again, we see Brody Todd getting a good opportunity to play. The one thing about Kilray is he brings guys in, and it's amazing the guys that he's brought in as defensemen and converted them to forwards. Adam Smith was a defenseman who's now playing forward. Rodney Bauman was a defenseman playing forward. So he brings in the guys that know how to play defensively, and if they have to move them up front, they do it. So that's why they have a lot of depth down the back end.
And if you're a young defenseman, and Brian Kilray says, I think you'd be better suited as a forward. I think with that track record, you're going to listen.
A guy like Russ Moyer played a lot of defense 2 years ago in the Memorial Cup, so then played forward as well.
2.5 minutes to go here in regulation time. We're tied at 3. And Peter Canco just couldn't keep himself on side.
Well, you want to get in and drive hard when you get to the blue line. You're anxious to get to the net hard, and that's what he's been doing all game long. So to be patient, you can only hang on so long because you want to get those feet moving and try to get in and be first to that puck.
Michael Richards, first-round draft pick in 2001 for the Kitchener Rangers. Had an assist in game one, and he has been outstanding here in the third period. Has 2 points on 2 assists. Steve Eminger. Handed it by Shepard. And a good defensive play there by Derek Roy as Matt Foy was lurking. Here's Gregory Campbell now moving in with Clarkson. Mensahtor steers that into the corner. Just over 2 minutes to go in regulation time. Back the other way. Corey Locke. He's got Scott Shepard with him. Locke driving in the middle. And that play is broken up. And Dave Clarkson back the other way. He's got Campbell and Roy with him. Here's Clarkson centering pass. Campbell throws it out in front. And he just missed Derek Roy. Roy's got it again. Takes the shot. That one missed the target. Halkitis will keep it in the far side. Clarkson's out in front. The pass comes back to Roy. Campbell picks it up. Gregory Campbell up top for Roy. Couldn't get a good shot on. But the Rangers keep the pressure on. Now 67's back the other way. Here's Locke. Trying to get around Halkitis. Good defensive play there by number 21 for the Rangers. Gives it to Derek Roy. Less than a minute and a half to go in regulation time. Here's Roy moving in. Takes the shot. Blocked. And the 67's. And almost sent away Matthew Albiani. Halkitis back into his own zone. He'll give it to Eminger. Crosses the line and he'll flip it in. Trevisani back to get it for the 67's. He'll be content to backhand it. And it goes into the seats.
Kitchener's making it very tough. Gilray likes to utilize his defense to jump up on the play. One of the concerns for Kitchener was Bell and Sabota, Moyer, and Trevisani jumping up in the play. Peter DeBoer has done a terrific job in the neutral zone. You saw Halkitis do a nice job of breaking the play up on Locke and Foy. So his defensemen are doing their end of the bargain. But one of the concerns that they have to be concerned about right now is Ottawa's defense jumping up and creating some offense.
Ottawa calls a timeout with 1 minute and 6 seconds to go here in regulation time. Kitchener out shooting Ottawa 11-10 in this third period. And that's a timeout called by the Kitchener Rangers. That was my mistake. Now Peter DeBoer trying to diagram a play with a face-off in Ottawa's end. Game 3 of this series goes in Kitchener on Tuesday. They'll be back here at the Civic Centre for Game 4 on Thursday. And we have seen what we expected, John. The top two teams in the Ontario Hockey League, they go to overtime in Game 1. We're tied here at 3 with 1:06 left in regulation in Game 2.
This is great hockey. This is the way it should be played. In junior hockey, the top two teams have done a great job, and it's tough to get through in these playoffs, but they're doing a fantastic job. We're going to see Andre Benoit up on the circle on this face-off. He's the defenseman again. Forward converted to a D. He's up on the side of the circle, putting a little pressure, not allowing the forwards to get out to the point to Steve Eminger.
Richards taking the draw against Lou Dickinson. 1:06 to go in regulation time. Huge face-off right here. Richards wins it cleanly. Back to the point it goes. Eminger waits, takes the shot, and that one got a piece of iron. Oh, you don't get much closer than that. Less than a minute to go now in regulation time. Steve Eminger almost ended it for the Rangers. He'll keep it in at the point. Back the other way. Flip down and right on towards Dickey, and it gets by him. And an icing call, so another face-off in the Ottawa end.
Well, Kitchener did a terrific job at following what Pete DeBoer drew out for them on his chalkboard, because Andre Benoit did the right thing, held the guy up at the right time. Good clean win. Benoit holds his man up, directs him to the outside of the ice, gives Eminger enough room to get in, and that one goes off the bar. You couldn't have wrote it out any better. The only way it would have been better if it was in the net.
42.6 seconds to go here in regulation time. Again, the Rangers win the draw. Here's Benoit at the point. His shot blocked, ends up in the corner. Clarkson first to it. Bell watching him. Clarkson trying to fight through the check. It's pushed off the puck. Back up top. Here's Derek Roy with a shot. Snapped his stick in half. 27 seconds to go. Here's a chance now. Moving in, Smith, the hero of Game 1. Todd with a shot. Blocked by Benoit. Derek Roy without his stick. Can't get it out. Here's Todd. Back in towards the net. That one hit the post. Got a piece of that post. We've seen it at both ends. 10 seconds away from overtime. Benoit lets the shot go. Into the corner goes Sloboda. After it first. Campbell centers it out in front, but for the second time in the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series, the Rangers and the 67's are going to overtime.
Well, a broken play. Derek Roy has the puck here. He goes to take a shot, and the stick snaps at him at the worst time in the game, the last minute of play. This is how Ottawa, but look at Roy get back. He was going to go to the bench, changed his mind, and went directly for the puck, and you can see that he's continuing without the stick, and he's still making things happen. Ottawa gets a couple chances, but nothing too threatening.
We are going to overtime here in Ottawa. It's the Ontario Hockey League Championship Series on Sportsnet. Now time to take a look at the play of the period.
Kitchener putting pressure on late in the third period. A good shot on net. Richards gets a shot, but this is where it bounces out front, and Lucas Mensator comes up big. A big save on Andre Benoit, who finds a loose puck slipping through the slot area where nobody's there to pick it up. He gets a full shot, total windup, but Mensator again steps up.
All right, let's go. Who's next? Come on, we don't have all day here. Last name first, first name last.
Lytle Corey.
Do you have any softball experience?
Well, no, but I have played in the big leagues for the last 5 years.
So that would be a no. Anyway, where do you want to play?
I'm a pitcher.
Sorry, dude, we already have Hurricane Hazel there.
Well, no offense, but last year in Oakland, I got clocked at over 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, but can you do that underhand?
It has been 5 years since Nick Kiprios hung up his blade, so he's officially qualified to offer an opinion on this week's Puck Poll. Who should retire before the start of next season? A qualified list of candidates there. Nick?
Retirement? Are you crazy? Retirement's boring. These guys should be playing until their teams kick them off. Being an NHL player is exciting. Movie stars, you hang out with rock stars and models. Look at me now. Look who I hang around with.
Welcome back to the Civic Centre here in Ottawa as we get set for overtime between the Kitchener Rangers and the Ottawa 67's, and plenty of action in that third period, John.
Well, Nathan O'Navigan get things started for Kitchener. Jeremy Atkinson did a terrific job, and Peter Kanko gets a huge goal for his team to get things on the board. And there's Scott Shepard, the tying goal, which has forced it into overtime. Peter Kanko playing physical, getting all kinds of opportunities. Good play by McGrath to come in. Still has composure to find Kanko coming in through the slot. A nice goal, getting to the net. And Scott Shepard, again, on the spot, gets in front of Dickey. A nice simple wrist shot from the point. Looked harmless, but it got through Dickey. Shepard gets the tying goal.
And that was just 22 seconds after Kanko's goal. And for the third straight time, the 67's came back and tied it, and these two goaltenders have faced a total of 74 shots. And remember, in game one of this series, that Lucas Mensator was the first star with 59 saves. And the Ottawa 67's won that one on the goal by Adam Smith at the 4:31 mark. 4:31 into the overtime. The top line out there now. Here's Shepard in behind the net. Centers it out in front. Locke couldn't get the shot away as Derek Roy had him tied up. The 67's 3-1 in overtime. The Kitchener Rangers 1-2. There's Roy trying to get it out. Trying to find Locke. Can't do it. Roy with the shot. Loose in front. And Clarkson had lost his stick. Hops over the stick of Halkitis. Look at the speed of Foy. That Foy moving in. He gets knocked down. And a good defensive recovery there by Derek Roy. Back the other way now. Here comes Campbell. Long shot, and that one goes off the glass. Both teams making changes here early in the overtime. Andre Benoit hit a great chance in that third period. Kanko takes a shot from a tough angle. Richards watches Bell. Ends it around the boards. Kept in. Here's a chance. Richards with the shot, and that one didn't miss by much. Mensator scrambles back into the net. Benoit keeps it in at the point. Long shot, and Mensator makes the first save of the overtime as he took it away from Peter Kanko.
In this second period and in the third period, Kitchener has come out very strong, getting a lot of opportunity in the offensive zone, putting a lot of pressure on. Matt Foy had a terrific shift, creating something for himself, getting down the ice, but there's Derek Roy back-checking, making fantastic back-checking opportunity, using his speed to get back and do it, because Matt Foy's not a slow skater.
40-36, the shots on goal. Andre Benoit takes the wrist shot. That one missed the target. Richards after the rebound. Trying to send it out in front. He does. Beaker can't go there. They score! Nathan O'Navigan! Overtime winner! The Kitchener Rangers have tied the series. Nathan O'Nabegan, his second goal of the hockey game, turns out to be the game winner.
Well, O'Nabegan scored, that's his second overtime goal. He scored the game-winning goal in overtime against Guelph to win the series. Again, he steps up in overtime. There's a lot of traffic in front of Mensator. Kitchener, they've got 4 guys down around the net trying to get things and make things happen, and sure enough, O'Nabegan puts it away to finish it.
A minute and 24 seconds into the overtime.
But all the traffic out front, the forwards of Ottawa didn't drop down to cover the front of the net, and O'Nabegan comes in and finds himself a little candy slipping out to him in the slot.
Well, we expected this to be a tight series, and that's exactly what we've got. The first 2 games go to overtime, and each team has won it in the extra period. Nathan O'Nabegan, the hero for Kitchener. Welcome back, everyone, and let's take a look at the play of the game.
Well, the play of the game is the overtime game winner. Hard work by Kitchener. They came out strong in OT, and right there, Kenko gets it back to O'Nabegan, and sure enough, it's in the back of the net.
His second goal of the hockey game, and he is our first scorer, and deservedly so.
Absolutely, as Nathan O'Nabegan 2 goals. Peter Kenko, a terrific game, a goal and 2 assists. Derek Roy had a strong, solid outing.
Our next game will be the Memorial Cup. Will it be Kitchener or Ottawa as the OHL representative? They will play Game 3 in Kitchener on Tuesday. Coming up next, Sportsnet News. Peter Labardius and RJ Broadhead will have all the day's sports, including highlights of this one. The Rangers win it in overtime. Sportsnet News is next.